What's up, YouTube? Today we're looking at Mega Heracross EX, a 280 HP grass type basic Pokemon from Phantasmal Flames. That is a big guy for a basic Pokemon. Today we're looking at a deck list, a profile, some gameplay from the Japanese YouTube channel so you can draw your own inspiration when you make your own Mega Heracross EX deck or when you load up PTCG Live. There is two grass energies for it to attack Panzerhorn, 100 plus whatever damage we're done to you. So it's 100 plus, like, question mark, basically. Question mark of damage done to this Pokemon, not other Pokemon. So, like, if they do like 10 damage with a Badoo or something to a different Pokemon, and then you attack with this guy, it's still 100, not 110, if that math makes sense. Anyway, then you have Mountain Thrust. For 3 grass, 170, you discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Pretty reasonable. Panzerhorn is really scary because if you don't actually one-shot the Mega Heracross, it can always come back and do a ton of damage right back to you, especially with Mega Venusaur in tow and Wally's Compassion if you start moving energies around. Now, it does give up 3 prize cards, so it is a big guy, but you have Ludicolo here as a Stage 2 Pokemon with Excited Healing that lets you heal 60 damage from one of your Pokemon if you have a Mega Pokemon EX in play, and so you can just keep healing your guy over and over and over again, making Mega Heracross a little bit resilient. Maybe you play stuff like Hero's Cape, etc. to just make this guy really, really big. Hero's Cape, Lively Stadium, whatever you want to do. But let's take a look at the list here that the Japanese YouTube channel has so graciously put together for us. We have, not for us, they're just doing it for their channel, but we're just stealing it. We have here the Bayleaf line, or the Meganium line, to basically just amp up our grass energy attachments, and we have the Ogerpons to just accelerate them onto the board. Now, this makes full use of the bug catching net set, whatever you want to call it, like engine, because you have all these grass type Pokemon that you can get and all these grass type energies you can use. And the Ogerpon is just a very consistent, very good engine, accelerating the energies, just getting where you need to be. Hero's Cape making us as big as possible. There's 3 copies of Wally's Compassion, basically making so we can heal up our Heracross and also attach in the same turn with the Meganium and use Panzerhorn once again. Basically, just we're going as hard as we can. There's no real innate built-in draw with the deck besides the Ogerpon, so we are going pretty high on supporters. And when you have a deck like this that doesn't have a lot of built-in draw, you are relying on things like Pokegear to basically bail us out of situations where we're like looking for that boss or that Wally's towards the end of the game. We have the 3 Vitality Stadiums, the Green Stadium, to basically just evolve up our guys as quickly as possible. And then, from there, it's that. We're basically building a big tank deck, and I'm very interested to see how this plays out in person. Let's see how it goes. We have the Chikorita on the left, and we have the GP on the right. We have double bug catching net, actually. We have Poffin first. So Poffin actually thins out the exact targets we want, so we have more targets in the following turn. So this actually makes it pretty easy for us to get like the Lotad and the Psyduck, but we can't get the big green guys or anything like that. So the Psyduck just means, hey, your Dusknoir doesn't do anything. We're going to see more and more ducks, I think, as the format evolves, because it's just one of those guys. We got a green Ogerpon and a Panzerhorn here. I'm going to call him Panzerhorn. I'm going to accidentally say Panzerhorn. We have a Teal Dance here as well to get an energy. Another bug catching set. We're going to keep going. Bug catching net, sorry. We're looking for anything, really. We're just playing around the Badoo, which is pretty good, actually. We're going to get the guy down, attached to him for free, and we're going to go ahead and pass it over. Now, Dragapult's best place to basically get into the GP this turn, or not GP, the Badoo this turn. I do see a Dawn in the hand, which is really good, actually. It gets the basic Stage 1 and Stage 2, which is really good. So we're just going to get the Dawn off the rip, basically securing our Dracloak for the following turn. And we're going to be able to just set up our boards. We're going to get the GP, Dracloak, and the Dragapult. I mean, like, very, very, very broken supporter card. I think Dawn is going to be incredibly good in the upcoming format. Like, it's going to be a staple in pretty much in a lot of decks, actually. Every Stage 2 deck. I can't say every deck. In every Stage 2 deck, it'll become probably a staple. We're going to go ahead and hit the Itchy Pollen here. And we're going to go ahead and draw for turn. Not a lot going on for us here. We do have the Air Balloon, and we have the Panzerhorn we can knock out the Badoo with, which is actually pretty good. So we can move our active, and we can just start swinging for the fences, which I really like. Now, this is a better way than just drawing an extra card. Yeah, like this is a great play. I like this a lot. We're just going to get pretty aggressive with it. I think our hand is pretty bad. And the only punish we have is Candy. If they go Candy, Dragapult, and Neo Upper, we can actually swing back and do 300 with the Panzerhorn, which is kind of cool, actually. We do a ton of damage. We get another Dracloak here. Double Dracloak into the board. Pheasantipity, draw a ton of cards, and Iono. This is actually really, really good because the Dragapult player, that's like probably as best as they could have asked for, because now they're seeing a ton of cards. We see the Poffin actually setting up their board once again. The Badoo slowing down the board once more. The Pheasantipity drawing some more cards. We see some Dracloaks, so looking for some Duskulls here just to get the board established. Maybe we can CC up and knock out the Psyduck at some point. That's kind of the hope we're looking for. So then we can actually use our Duskulls effectively. But we're going to see a Badoo attack. Panzerhorn now does do a little bit more damage. 110. Remember I told you guys at the beginning of the video, 110 this would come up. I was a genius. We'll be able to mill 2 cards now, which is kind of funny. Because with a deck like Dragapult that plays so many 1-ofs, there's like a good chance that hitting the resources would be really important here. We're going to see the Bayleaf here in the Lombre. Actually drawing a pretty good amount. We're going to do the 170, where I discard the top 2 cards of the deck. There's the Lilies and a Psychic. The Psychic is actually not too bad to hit the discard because that does mean that now we can use Night Stretcher to get the attack off if we want to with the Dragon Ball deck. I think Dragon Ball wants to stall for at least one more turn before starting to attack. I mean, they can start swinging for the fences. I think it's fine, but the Duck means that we don't have any like actual real agency to use our big guys. If we get a CC onto the Duck, that'd be pretty good, and we can dodge not the Panzerhorn. And taking 170 is fine because if we take 170, then Monkey Dory will put us out of the next 170 range. Yeah, because then we go to 140, and then we can survive that. So we can save one more turn if we can possible. Luminous onto the Cloak. They evolve here. We're going to get the Halucha involved here, taking out the Psyduck with the simple attack on the active. A Duskull as well, forcing a Stretcher in some capacity. There is a Candy. There is a Dragapult for the future, but we don't really need those right now. The Candy for a following turn would be pretty good. Lilies is good here. There's a lot of cards like already that we've gone through. I probably would have been down to keep the hand because I think we had Candy Dusknoir there effectively for the following turn if we wanted it. But this is also perfectly fine because we can basically do this. But this is why the Psyduck is also really good because it soaks up that 60 damage, and the Halucha also is here. So you basically soaked up all this like pressure that the opposing deck was trying to do here. We have the Meganium involved here. Now every energy counts as 2. We have 1. So if we look at the board here, we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 right now on the Teal Mask Ogre effectively. So we're swinging for 270. So another attachment from hand actually one-shots the Dragapult, I'm pretty sure, unless my math is wrong. You guys can tell me if my math is wrong. We also hit the Wally's Compassion here, which fully heals our active if we want to use it. And then we can go ahead and do all that. So we can go ahead and retreat into the Teal Mask Ogre. Yeah, actually a very, very scary situation here for any deck. Like, this is a crazy amount. We're going to Wally's Compassion, fully heal up the guy here, discard our energies, our Panzerhorn. There's the attachment for turn. And we're going to be able to swing for a significant amount of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 330 damage, and it's just a crazy amount of damage. But on the flip side, this guy will be going down once again. And then there's no like grass or whatever on the board. So we're looking for a KO on the Fez if we can. And the Panzerhorn will only do 100 damage on the following turn. We can pop Dusknoir here where there's the Hilda in hand for the Neo Upper if we want it. There's the Ionos. We might have to just Hilda because our hand is so bad. But I would probably start like with a Poffin and then probably Fez first, just get our options limited, just see what we're working with. Because we do get a good Fez here, we don't have to actually play that as a supporter. We're probably looking for this so we can actually Iono. And like if we don't see the cards we're looking for, that means we're getting deeper and deeper into our deck with the Iono as well, because we're putting some cards at the bottom. Candy Dusknoir here is pretty good. This could basically take the Meganium off the board, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and Moltres. We're going to go Moltres Luminous is pretty spicy. I was thinking we just go Hilda and pop the Dusknoir and then take this guy off the board so that the other deck can't actually attack here. This is what happens with the decks that like, I don't know, this is like the problem again, like tier 2, tier 3, like meme decks, because they don't actually compete as well with like these situations, right? If we go like Dusknoir, why don't we just Dusknoir? Just take this guy off the board. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Why like, the Meganium seems like pretty bad for us if they have pieces, you know? Like I thought we just, you know, can end the game. I mean, maybe we're just really excited to Dusknoir the active and just hit it next turn. That seems also fine, I guess. But like, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, keeping the Dusknoir alive is pretty scary, I guess. Like, I mean, it is a spooky concept right now. I mean, it is a spooky concept, but like, I guess the game does end regardless of what we do here, because we can't really use this as an attacker. And I guess like Blood Moon boss gets opened up. Oh, there's a Hero's Cape. There's a Hero's Cape. 380 damage. We are much bigger than before. And Panzerhorn only does 100 here because we did place damage counters, not actually do damage. So this is a little bit of the downside. But I mean, whatever happens this turn, we have to eliminate the Meganium off the board, or the game is like pretty much over with like a boss energy. So we have to basically take the Meganium off the board if we can. If we're able to establish Monkey as well, that's like super good. We can go CC. We can win this game with a CC. No, we can't win the game with CC. Sorry. We have 3 price cards remaining. I was trolling there a little bit. But we need to take this Meganium off the board more than anything. It's like probably the scariest threat. So I'm down to pop the Dusknoir. And like, I don't know if we can, if we have those pieces available to us, to put our opponent to 1, because then they're forced to find energy card plus boss, or just energy card here, and the Panzerhorn attack. So we're just going to go ahead and pass for Panzerhorn. What are we passing for? What are we looking for? Making a new Dragapult, maybe? Oh, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's really, really cool. We have the item that discards a tool. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I guess Dragapult can play that. Very, very cool. And there's the Dustner, and there's the game. Um, I feel a little bit bad for the uh mm, this player here because they did have like a rod, they had a stretcher, and like we really did not see them play a supporter after the Wildies. So like those late game Ionos like ended up being very crippling, and not being able to find multiple Tailmaster Goropons on the board and establish pressure that way was kind of crippling here. Because at some point in the game, had they been able to go Arvin for stretcher for Duck or Arvin for like set up your board a little bit better, it would have been really good. They did see a lot of the nets on this. I think this deck is like, dude, it has potential. I feel like all the grass stuff has to be so good because we have so many grass pieces. I think post rotation grass becomes really good, specifically because bug catching set does exist and no other like nest balls and stuff don't exist. So you can just pop off and go a little bit like crazy with it if you can actually set up near the stadium and stuff. So I think grass archetype and like Lucario, for example, get a lot better after rotation. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how this deck flowed. Definitely had a problem with not finding supporters with no innate draw like we talked about. So maybe throwing in like a Fez or something could be pretty good just to like get some extra cards in the middle of the game, which would help out the deck a lot, I think. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.